All of the talk in the world of golf has been about the new competitor to the PGA. LIV Golf has taken the world by storm, offering massive sums of money to the world's most premier golfers just to make the switch, and guaranteeing paydays for everyone, even dead last in their invitational events. Because of the questionable nature of where this money is coming from, this has polarized the world of golf into two camps, even going as far as the PGA banning the players that elect to participate in the LIV Golf events. But amidst all of this cash and turmoil, you have to wonder, what would LIV Bowling look like? So while you scroll down and hit the subscribe button, imagine with me for a moment an almost unlimited sum of money being thrown at the professional bowling industry, featuring payout numbers unfathomable to almost all of us. What does that reality look like? What would be different? Well, first off, the amount of attention paid to professional bowling both inside and outside of the industry would grow immensely, at least for a short period of time. In case you haven't noticed, bowlers are not afraid to share their opinions, from Sean Rash to USB-C to oil patterns and live streams to whatever. If a bowler has an opinion, they're likely to share it with you.
Take that, you bottle bitch!
People would be talking about it to the point of it being completely exhausting. But even more importantly, people outside of bowling would be talking about it. The amount of publicity that LIV Golf and the PGA alike have received in the last couple weeks has been so much more than normal, and although the ratings for the US Open might not have been great, it was also one of the best tournaments they've ever had for streaming numbers, and pundits continue to make it first page news. I would expect a somewhat similar reaction to LIV Bowl. There would be more eyes on bowling than there has been since PDW lost it at the US Open, and this time for much better reasons. And this could be great for the sport. More eyes and more conversations means more opportunity to capitalize, to convert those that are paying attention into consistent viewers, sponsors, or best yet, bowlers themselves. An influx of attention like this could maybe even allow bowling to relive the glory days of ABC and reinvigorate a sport that has been lost and scrambling for decades. But this attention would be a double-edged sword. See, the influx of attention in golf is being paid due in part to the massive amounts of money being thrown around, but even more so, where that money is coming from. Any amount of money akin to what LIV Golf is paying their athletes is almost surely coming from a not-so-great place, and the Saudi money fueling Greg Norman's revenge tour is no different. Could bowlers handle the bad publicity that Phil Mickelson and Dustin Johnson are dealing with? Would that ultimately be good for the sport? Both are pretty hard to say, so you should let me know in the comments if you think professional bowling could survive the inception of a LIV Bowl tour. Either way, I'm curious to see how golf handles it, because as intriguing as it is, it might be a trap. Another thing LIV Golf is integrating is a team-based format during individual competition. Each event, there are 48 golfers in the field and 12 teams of 4, so everyone participating is on a team. These teams are drafted by their captains at each event, and the teams are not only competing for their piece of a $20 million prize fund individually, they're also competing for the $5 million team prize fund paid out to the top 3 teams. There is also a season-ending championship similar to the Ryder Cup, where all 12 of these teams compete for a whopping $50 million total prize fund, with $16 million going to the first place team. That $16 million top prize is 40 times more than what the winners of the Ryder Cup take home. That difference would be the equivalent of the winners of the Elias Cup taking home $2.4 million as a team, which would almost double the single season earnings record for each player on the team. This is one area where the PBA already has a leg up on golf and could use the existing Elias Cup teams to add some significant intrigue to each event, and especially to the Elias Cup finals. Personally, I would take it even one step further and introduce a real playoff cut down to the best 4 or 8 teams based on a season-long point structure. Can you imagine the amount of intrigue and excitement if during the Masters, not only does a player need to strike in the 10th to win the title, but it also gets their team into the PBA League playoffs to compete for that kind of money? It would be absolutely insane.
Sensational!
I will say though, I don't think the bad publicity or increased focus on the team format would be what creates the majority of the conflict within the bowling community, especially in the long term. We all know that bowling is filled with traditionalists. Scroll the comments of almost all of my videos and you'll find somebody whining about two-handed bowling, even though it's been around for decades at this point and is the most popular method of bowling at the youth level by far. But in the presence of a LIV Bowl tour, this white knuckle grip on tradition would almost surely be the variable that creates the most division amongst bowlers. LIV Golf Golf has shown that they are not afraid to break tradition, going as far as to name the entire series after it. They've implemented shorter formats, shotgun starts, non-traditional media, and a medley of other changes meant to supercharge the sport. Changes the traditionalists in golf have not accepted or appreciated and likely won't. This divide will either define a new generation of golf or will destroy the sport at the professional level. And if LIV Bowl were to become a reality, that divide would be realized faster and more harshly than golf could ever imagine. The likelihood that it would break the sport of bowling into pieces would be very high, with the ramifications being felt across an entire industry that loses its heroes. However, the state of professional golf prior to the introduction of LIV was in a much better place than professional bowling is today. It's very possible that a detachment from tradition would suit professional bowling well in the long run, that if creative people were empowered to try something new, that it would do wonders for the sport that is approaching or may even be beyond the end of an era. Could bowling actually benefit through the pains of this creative destruction? Would a massive investment of dirty money help or hurt the sport?
Show me the money!
Let me know in the comments. If you haven't by this point, scroll down and hit that subscribe button before you go. Share this video with your golfing buddy to see what he thinks. And as always, don't forget, you guys, your best life is a 10-pin life. See ya.